Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We have a small change of plans here. We are going down to losers round 4. We got a best of 3 matchup between Rally Esports and ESG Academy. We find ourselves here on Karachi Hardpoint, and Derek starting us off hot with a 2-piece.
Yes, indeed. Both these teams should be familiar to you guys. We've seen Rally Esports in the regular season. They did a pretty good job up against NM Boys, a game I do believe that they did go ahead and win. And we saw ESG Academy earlier, I think twice, or at least once, and they had some pretty good performances as well. Very young players, these guys, and Rally Esports. Not as well known, I'd say, but still some really good guns on this team.
Yeah, we got some under 18 players here on the ESG Academy side. Looks like they're already going to have rotations set up towards that P2 hardpoint. This is one of those hardpoints in this map that you can really rack up almost a full 60 if you have a proper setup. Looks like all the kills are going to be going in favor of ESG. Connor here, you want to see him start to move across the map. These guys got to move. They're all on P1, but the P2 time is starting to get soaked up by ESG.
Yeah, this is looking pretty good for a setup for ESG. Senpai trying to break on into it. Does get one for his own life, but yeah, ESG are just so far in the back, and they're going to be able to replenish themselves a lot better than Rally is. Although they do find Encourage a little bit overextended, and the bottom side of the map is not going to be watched too much. Connor allowed to get around the back and take down one. Confid a little bit weak now, so Connor may be able to get a trade out. Yes, Senpai. And so now things are starting to get a little bit troubled in paradise, Kaysen.
Still time going in favor of ESG. One of the things that I really love watching amateur Call of Duty is you see things not to do. You watch pros and you know what you should do. Watching these amateur players, you see what you should not do. And that rough rotation on the P2 is going to equal a solid lead for ESG. They just need to start working towards this P3 hardpoint, which Rally Esports has a pretty decent setup thus far.
Yeah, they do. Confid going to be looking for anyone that's on top of one of these rooftops. Going to find him, but not in the way that he was really wanting to. Encourage now. Concentration going to try and take on Rilo, but this head glitch is so disgusting. The bottom side of the map is going to be completely cut off courtesy of Rilo now. Repositioning so that they don't pre-aim him, pre-fire him, whatever you like to say. And so he's just going to keep on racking up these kills. And ESG will keep on not being anywhere near this next objective.
Yeah, nice response from Rally as Rilo is able to go on a 5 spree. Really take over, be a thorn in the side for ESG. Kills continuing to come in favor of Rally. You got Vapor here in the backside. He's got players pushing through red. He's got Confid on his right. Senpai will get a kill in the league, in the hill, pardon me. Kills going back and forth, but it looks like the trades will go in favor of Rally Esports as we look towards that rotation of the Church Hill.
Yep, last 15 seconds will be snaked away by Ryan, though, so they will be able to maintain their 40-ish point lead while also putting a lot of pressure on this next kill. You can get a good setup on this one and get a lot of time off it if you have the setup, but if it's as mixy it is like this, then it's going to be pretty hard for you to get any time whatsoever. And so ESG, either way that turns out, it's good for them, because as long as they can maintain anything that maintains their lead is good.
Got a couple players here in front of Encourage. They're going to stop them from pushing towards this clock side of the map. All this time going in favor of ESG as they're just stuck over here. It's tough to push through with the spawns and the way they're set up. Kills finally coming in favor of ESG. 30 seconds left in this hard point. You're going to want to start to see teams moving towards that red side of the map, as that's one of these hills on this map that you can really get a lot of time. Still, just all this time going in favor of ESG. It looks like almost a full 60 there on this third hard point.
Pretty much. Unfortunately, Confid will finally get surrounded and pounded on the objective, as you always end up doing. It's basically inevitable. Rally will get these last 10 seconds, and they will flip their opponents out towards the opposite side of the map. So this is a good little bit of the last 10 seconds here, at least getting control over the spawn, making their opponents take a little bit of time in getting to this next one. So it will get them a little bit of an opportunity for some free time, but we'll see how much of that they can actually take.
Just about a 65-point differential as the challenge is going to come through. Confid picks him up, but the trade is there. Senpai with a slow start in this one, 3-10 thus far. I want to see him pick it up if they want to claw their way back into this one, but time still being gathered by Rally. Vapor's going to be pushing out towards this ASMD site. He's got 2 players to deal with. Brian will clean him up. Trade's coming through for Rilo. Rilo, what a map he's having. 14-5 on a 5 spree. We've seen this guy going crazy, not able to pick that one up as he's going to get cleaned. Just 20 seconds left, and it looks like it's going to go to ESG Academy.
And the crazy thing is, that's not Rilo's first 5 streak here. As you can see, he's got streaks in his back pocket. If this game still continues to go in the way that it's going, could be something that could be a get-out-of-jail-free card towards the end of the game. Like I said, if things don't start going their way, and he's going to stop Derek the Goat from getting the same thing, I do believe so. Big moment there, potentially, as we do go back to this T1.
Early time being gained by ESG Academy. This under 18 squad looking good to start this one off. 157 to 77, and times continuing to tick in their favor. On the side of Rally, you really got to have Simfi spawn in at some point. 3 and 14 is not where you want to be sitting here on the second rotation of Hills. Rilo already starting to work this second rotation. He's got the spawns for New. Trying to work some plays, but it looks like he's got too many players over in map control, all in favor of ESG Academy. They just got to get those spawns for P2 now.
Oh, they might get him, but somehow, oh, Derek, he thought he got the kill, but he didn't quite, and now Senpai's actually going to slip through and kill one of the guys in the objective, but not overall too bad, because ESG Academy will still, at the very beginning of the first rotation, break 200, which is astounding, to say the least. They can win off of any of their remaining hills, and we're still at the beginning of the second rotation. Rilo might be called on for some of these streaks sooner than he thought.
Of course, you know, the game's not over until you're at 250, but you get the advantage whenever you have such a lead like this that you can really decide to just chalk a hill and hit a rotation if you're not winning it, get a solid setup. Ryan's going to find his way inside of this hard point. How is he alive? They cannot allow him to be like this. His whole team's going to pick up kills, all kills going in favor of ESG. And this being a best of 3, this is not good news for Rally. 4 and 17, we mentioned from Senpai having a tough map thus far. It's not looking good for Rally Esports.
Yeah, it's not. They're even going to get denied a lot of the time there by the late confid, just sitting there like a rat waiting for them to try and pounce on the objective, denying as much time as possible. I mean, they are already so far ahead. I think this is the biggest lead we've seen on stream in total, and we've seen a 110-point lead. These guys are, what, like 130 now? This is crazy. Derek the GOAT still alive, still kicking, and still dropping people like it's his job, but... yeah, still spawning towards the bottom side of the map. Rally Esports is going to take them a little bit longer to get to this next objective, but it hasn't popped yet, so they will still probably be able to get there generally by the time it begins.
Well, talk about a little bit about what these amateur players do wrong that kind of separates them from the top challengers in the scene. 20 seconds left on that P2 hardpoint, and there were no rotations out of Rally. All of them were huddled up in the P2 side. You need to rotate on this hill at least 30 seconds. Otherwise, you're going to get in a situation like this where ESG has you in a trap. Derek the GOAT picks up 2. Just 10 seconds left for ESG to take map number 1.
Yep, 5 seconds left. Connor gonna have to gun this guy off the objective, but all he's gonna do is just sit in the corner and wait. Getting shelled out, and Ryan wins that one 10 times out of 10 and gets another one for good measure on the way out. ESG Academy looking pretty solid as they 100-point club Rally Esports.
100-point clubbed by some under 18 Call of Duty lords. Simfi 6 and 20. That is not a good map for you, my friend. But it's okay. You're moving on to the S&D. You can hit a regain. You still got 2 more maps to bring this one back. But if this is any indication as to how the series will go, that's not a good start.
Yeah, I think if I do recall correctly, that like 3 of the players on Rally Esports had 20+ stats the entire time. So, I mean, they were getting their engagements in, but they just weren't that great of engagements. It leads me to believe that they were being really, really uncareful in how they were just going in. And you saw it as well in some of their POVs. They would go right on in, take their engagements, die, and then just go in over and over and over again. They're going for quantity of engagements instead of quality of engagements. And I think that's something that really, really hurt them, because like, especially when you're down a whole lot like that, you can't really get your firm setups like we saw at ESG. They broke those hills every single time of asking.
Yeah, well, I think that goes down to what we were talking about a little bit earlier ago about how important rotations are here in Modern Warfare 3. More so than last year's. You see the pro teams rotating at 30, 40 seconds. As we mentioned, I just saw it there in that P2, but I'm sure it's an issue that's going to plague them in all of their hard points. They have to have better setups in order to take more favorable gunfights. That's probably the reason we saw a lot of them going negative. You just got to play a little bit more disciplined. It's still early in the year. There's still a lot of time to learn, but that's something that you're going to need to take away from this series. You got to rotate a little bit earlier if you Rally Esports.
Yeah, and that being said, a lot of the kills that these guys are getting aren't just because they're just going in and they're just beating them in heads-up 50-50 1v1s. They're sitting there, waiting, in advantageous positions, and they just run into them and die. So, yeah, very much to your point on that one. The kills will definitely start to pile up if you keep doing that. But, yeah, we are going to be going over to Terminal now, a map that is definitely all about teamwork, and we'll see if we can see some of that. That was something that we've been harping on these guys a little bit for here on this first map, is their rotations and doing it together as well. But if you try and be a little bit wishy-washy, try and take a 1v1 on this map, it's by and large not going to be so good, especially if you're on the attacking side.
Well, we saw some top challengers players playing Terminal S&D in the previous series, and it was pretty much a static setup each round. I'm sure we'll see something different here with these players that maybe aren't at the top echelon of challengers players, but we'll see what they can make happen on Terminal S&D. We are going to go to a short break while we set the lobby up, but whenever we come back, we'll have Terminal S&D for you guys, all right? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to the $2,500 KS Major here at the Amateur World League. We find ourselves here in map number 2 on Terminal S&D and losing round 4. We've got Rally Esports versus ESG Academy. If you're just now tuning in, ESG Academy with a demanding map 100-point clubbed Rally Esports, and they find themselves here on the offense. Now, something here in offense on Terminal S&D specifically, it really is on the offense to make a play. And we talked about the understanding difference of how to play the game in map number 1. There is no players inside of plane for Rally. That is a major no-no. You got to have at least one player playing there to defend that site.
I know, I guess they were just so confident in their play call that they're like, all right, let's just completely go all in on this. And Yasha gonna go all in on the plane here as well. No one gonna be here to back him up just yet, but now might be in position here, but the timing is not gonna be there. Vapor not pushing at the same time, so he's just gonna die for free. Rilo, they're gonna try and get it right this time again, and he goes pistol out, and ooh, might be able to get in here Senpai, but no, that is exactly why you don't want to give it the plane. ESG Academy teaching him a very valuable lesson in this round number 1.
At the very least, have someone in there to slow him down. They just had A site for free, and once you get the bomb down, there's so many corners and lines of sight that you can take to keep this bomb from being defused. Impressive stuff out of ESG Academy there as they're able to take round number 1. And it just seems like there's a competence difference between these two teams. ESG seems like they know what they need to do on the map, and Rally, I mean, you had one player back bottom Eskies. I can understand maybe to watch the A cross, but if you're just watching the A cross and there's no one to defend the site, I don't really understand the strat call from them.
Yeah, it was... I will agree with you. It was a bad call, but something I've noticed here is that Rally have gotten a little bit of an emergency substitute, calling on their main player Yasha, and oh my god, he's getting in here, getting in so deep, and does manage to get one. Amazing that they weren't able to capitalize on... Oh, Derek the GOAT gets away. That is a crime. Better have Vapor watch over you here because, oh, he's completely undefended. Is going to be able to bypass it, though. Gets away with murder, basically, there, Rilo. And now he'll be retreating back to Burger Town in the safety of his trophy system, and Vapor going to try and do the same thing. Watch from a distance, but as they rotate, going to get caught by Ryan. And now Pinch will come back on in, trying to get away from Confid, but just gets caught right out in the middle of the open again. A little bit of a repositioning issues there, and they will get beaten by ESG once again.
Yeah, I think Rilo was trying to hit a wrap through middle map, but if he would have just held a pre-aim there on that backside watching Library, it should have been an easy kill for him, and probably would have been an easy round for them with that bomb down, but ultimately going to get taken out. Confid with the cleanup here in this final kill cam. Good stuff for the retake out of ESG. Derek was able to get out with his life there on that Esky side and able to pick up a kill in middle on Simfi as well. That's the story of the round, and ESG find themselves up 2-0 going into another offense. Let's see what adjustments come through from Rally Esports.
Yeah, I hope the adjustment that we see at the very least is that we see one person in plane. Like, send Senpai, send Yasha. I mean, sending Yasha I think would be a great decision. Because
Yeah, there you go.
Like,
you got Senpai going that way.
Yeah, and
you got 3 people on A side now.
Overcompensating, I guess, for their lack of plane control. And I guess ESG, they're going to go right on in again, and Yasha hit the flank behind him. He's just waiting for them to go on in, and oh, he should have 2! He does get 2! That's bombed down, and 3 fall for the other guy. And so it's all on Ryan, and he's going to get shut up here as well. They know exactly where he's at. Play call going to be on point this time for Rally Esports, as Ryan, he's basically got not a prayer in the world of making it out of this one.
So they 3-stack A site, and they blind counter ESG as they're able to get on the board here in the S&D in round number 3. Good stuff for the Yasha, able to pick up that 2-piece in terminal. Once you get caught there in A, it is pretty easy to clean up those players if you got more than one player over there. The only issue is if they decide to go to that B site, you got one player over there, that whole B site's going to be theirs. So a blind counter for Rally Esports as they're able to get on the board here. Slow start for Encourage, starting off 0-2. Vapor sitting at 3-2 on the side of Rally Esports. See how those KDs develop as the game goes on. See, it's just simple stuff like watching the A cross here on the offensive side. You're not going to see any players doing that.
Very risky plays so far for Rally Esports. They're playing very careful now, getting beaten off the angle by the nades, and now Derek will be in position. Yeah, ooh, but that kill from Senpai, that should be giving them the opportunity to rotate. There's nobody on A. They don't know it yet, though. And, oh, Yasha with the bomb dies as well as they're calling the rotate. A little bit of communication errors once again for Rally Esports as A is free, but they pull the trigger on A.
Yeah, once again, one of those things that we see, like mistakes that amateurs will make compared to top challengers and professional players. Any top team, as soon as you get a kill on that A side, you'll see all of those arrows start to rotate towards the A side, but not from Rally Esports today. Simfi, all alone now in a 1v3. He's got the bomb down back further, and I'm pretty sure ESG knows that as well. Confid with another cleanup kill, and that's going to be 3 rounds in favor of ESG Academy. These under 18 players, man, they know what's good. They got all day to play. Find themselves up here 3-1 and not 2-2.
Yeah, just a little bit of a, not just a confidence differential, but just experience and how...
I see what you did there. Confidence.
Oh, you know what? That was totally unintentional, but thank you so much for pointing that out to me. It makes it so much better. But Yeah, Rally Esports, they're making a lot of blind calls and decisions. They're playing really risky, whereas ESG are playing safe, but in a good way. These are things that are on paper, you know that they work, and so it's obviously a good thing to do them. So you'll have a lot more frequent success than Rally Esports making these blind plays.
All right, while this may not be the best setup that you can have on defense, I'd like this one a little bit more. You got 2 on B, you got 1 player helping middle and cockpit. Simfi will pick up one on the Derek the Goat. He's going to get traded out, so now with 3v3, and that bomb is on the B site. You got Rilo here in the back to defend, but the trophies are down, so nades should not play a factor. You got 2 players up here top Eskies. Ryan's going to spot him. Rilo's got to play his life. And you got 1 player in Confid starting to rotate back. So you got to look at number 8 here, Yasha. He's got to start to rotate, realize that the play is going down towards B. He's going to be doing just that, working the middle map. Yasha's going to pick up one onto Ryan. Confid's going to try for the trade. He's able to get that. Another one from Encourage, and Confid picks up 2.
Yeah, he picks up the rest of them as well, and so ESG Academy, once again, going to be winning yet another round. It was a nice little surprise play in the middle of the map. Got one, but again, he was retreating, but retreating to a position where his teammates should have had control, but they didn't. I don't know if everyone noticed this, but as soon as he went onto the objective, the teammate that was supposed to be there with him completely turned away. They started looking towards the middle of the map, which, in my opinion, a little bit of a bad call on that one, as it left A completely undefended once again. And so now, Rally Esports gonna have to, I guess, live up to their namesake a little bit and start winning some of these rounds.
Yeah, definitely need to start a rally if you're on that side. It looks like First Blood's gonna go in favor of Yasha. You mentioned that he is the playmaker for this squad. He's the player in S&D that's gonna need to get this rally going. Find themselves down 4-1. We are in losers round 4, so with their backs up against the ropes, Rally Esports is 2 rounds away from being eliminated from our 2500 KAOS major. You do have Yasha in back plane here. He should be able to communicate this to his teammates that he has the site and courage. He's able to pick up 1, but he's got 3 more he's going to need to take down if he's going to want to win this round.
There's 2 objectives here for the Encourage. One is defuse the bomb, get the ace. The other is just get 1 more kill, get the cruise missile. If you can get both of them, that's great. If you can just get 1 more kill, that's still pretty great. Unfortunately, he's going to get a little bit surrounded. Not really good cover there. And so he's going to be just getting completely waxed, just a little bit short of the streak. And so Rally Esports will be able to get another round on the board while also denying their opponents a great thing that would have probably won them the entire game, hands down.
So you look at it from a conceptual standpoint, good play out of Rally. They got that kill on the A site and they managed to push forward, but I would like to see them play a little bit more together. You know, the A push after they got that kill in Terminal didn't come all as one. You see teams all surge together through plane all together once they get that first kill. Still was able to pick up the round win. Need 4 more to win the map. Yasha playing this cockpit. You got 2 players in cockpit, 1 player in blue and 1 player on B. Looks like the offense is going to elect to go towards this B site as nades come in from both sides. No trophy down just quite yet. He's going to save it for later in the round, but you got Simfi here to help him out on B site.
This is a great position here from Simfi if he can keep it. Rilo gonna get a little bit aggro with the positioning, looking for another one, looking for 2. Oh no, can't quite get it. The shots are too good from Ryan and Simfi will fall. But Yasha coming through the middle of the map, trying to get one onto Encourage, but fluffs it, and Ryan will punish the push. And with that, another one falls, and ESG hop, skip, and a jump away from going on to the next series.
Just 1 more round needed to advance to losers round 5. Simfi put himself in a really good position. He didn't even really need to jump out into sight. He had the sight line on that player in that golf cart area. Could have picked up 1, possibly 2 if he just held a pre-aim. Something that we see these lower echelon players, maybe not lower echelon, but not top tier players, I should say. Just making little mistakes like that. If you're watching this one back, yeah, exactly. If you're watching this one back, it's one of those mistakes that you can learn from. It's still earlier in the year, as I mentioned, as it looks like we will have an A play out of Rally Esports. Once again, Ryan is going to pick up that information, so the rotation should come through if you're ESG.
Yeah, should. And you see Config trying to just bullet them through the wall, see if you can find where they're at, just taking some blind fire at them to try and slow things down and give Ryan a little bit of help. It looks like it did indeed give him a lot of the help that he needs to at least survive the occasion. Slowing things down now as well. They have to go and do their due diligence and watch the back of the plane so that the bomb planter doesn't get killed. Oh, they might be able to find one on Config, but just not an easy enough target here for Simfi, as the bomb does finally go down, but still all players up for ESG for the retake. And,
yeah, that plane is made out of cardboard. You can shoot through this entire plane. Ryan trying to find one. Derek will help him out and clean up Rilo. Now with the bomb down, a 3v4 situation, Ryan finds his way in the side. He's able to pick up one, and he elects to play his life. I like that play out of Ryan. Kills all going in favor of ESG, and all just like that, Rally Esports will be eliminated from our $2,500 KAOS Major, and ESG Academy will advance to losers round 5.
Yep, an incredible 4-man deathless retake on plane is how it will end for ESG Academy. That is, it doesn't really get much better than that for a final round for ESG, punching their ticket to the next round, which will be up against, I do believe, Screamin' Demons. That'll be a hell of a game to watch. Losers round 5, just one round away from getting to loser semis. We are really starting to get towards the end of this tournament here, dude. But unfortunately, it will be a tournament now without Rally Esports, as they could not quite hold a candle to their opponents. They just got a little bit outclassed, out-rotated, out-positioned, and just out-coordinated, I guess you could say, at the end of the day. Just big. Those were the major differences I saw, at least.
Man, I mentioned that I don't really know these players too much that we just watched, but if ESG Academy plays like that against Screamin' Demons, we're going to have a series on our hands. I'm not sure do you know what series we have coming up next?
I believe we are still waiting to see if Pulse will be, sorry, it's not Pulse that we're waiting on. It would be the other guys, SGP. I think they are playing a game currently, and we are waiting for that to finish before we know for sure. But ladies and gentlemen, we'll be getting you an update in the chat, and soon enough, you'll be seeing which series we have next for you. Stay tuned.
I want to watch